you want to win the war first. Primal instincts were just way too good in that previous game.
It was raw, animalistic, really love MLBB, probably even sensual at some point. But that was definitely a game to be appreciated. It's gonna be Sideswitch, Atlas Juice and other bands, Freya and Fanny. So, despite Vamos having an angle wherein they can manipulate the draft board in error for a could end up with the Fanny again after his tremendous game. They decide to play it safe and they respect Nile. There are going to be no Fannies up for the trade. We might end up going back to Rara, Nolan, and heroes like that for the potential main trade. And the Harley, of course.
Honestly, there's no Fanny, so I think they're tempting BTR to go take the Rara. But honestly, man, if they pick up the Melissa first pick here, I will not be. I get upset. I'm gonna allow it if that happens. I know it's a crazy pick. I know that Rara still is the top priority to get picked here. Even a hero like Belleric or a Valentina or a Palace might take precedence, but even as my gut tells me that Eman wants to play that hero too after that game.
Yeah, and like the Melissa will end up with them. If this ends up becoming a Eudora rush for Vamos, they might end up facing the same problem, right? And they won't have enough reach to deal with the Melissa. So I'm pretty sure it's on the back of their heads that now for Vamos, I'm going to be the one encouraging, if I'm not thinking this is Postback best still with the team.
No.
Just go ahead and pick it up.
Oh. They had to snatch this Valentina because they don't want the rest of the guy to be given to BTR. It's going to be the Uranus. Way better hero than the Melissa, as you mentioned. Honestly, because of this Harley now it is different, but I would have said that the Valentina is not the best hero to kind of answer this Melissa. In fact, the Valentina is not good versus the three heroes that we have right now for BTR. But it's more of a necessary pickup coming up from Team Vamos is what I feel like. They don't want to give away the Wrath of the Riot free. Already BTR by Vitality are in a very comfortable spot in this draft.
Yeah, it's pretty much going to be up to Vamos to react more to everything that happened in that first phase. They will not have reach unless it's going to be through their gold laner. But they're at the risk of going up against a Uranus in the XP and then another tanky roamer. So you're going to need some shred, but with the Melissa around, I wouldn't be surprised if GTR by then just go ahead and ban out something like the Clint and then get Vamos to scramble. Still, there's one pick that we saw, courtesy of Falcons, and the Hanabi for Super Marvel, where there could be a light of hope in the gold lane for Team Vamos.
Yeah. Not sure if they are willing to do it, but then again, many things happen in the Malaysian region. They probably have picked up the Hanabi before and might have been successful with it. Good ban though on the Barretts here for BTR. I think the Barretts was also instrumental to Team Vamos' win in the previous game, and it's overall just a great pick up against the Melissa. Because of the problem as well that you're immune to crowd control, so it can be easily initiated onto Melissa in case. So that's a great ban. I'm actually interested why the good catch-up was banned here for Team Vamos. It doesn't seem like the top priority for BTR.
Yeah, there's enough other rumors that you could go for much later once you get to see what the fourth pick is. It's a little bit of a panic ban there, unless Vamos are setting it up for something, but doesn't look like it. Even if, like, let's say it is a Hanabi that they want to pick up, AOG isn't going to do much. Yeah, you get to the Hanabi, but you're putting yourself more in danger. They'll end up picking the Cloud with it too, where they're just really thinking because of the more close to mid-range nature of their composition that they're going to end up with, that they just wanted to make sure that they're not going to get taunted. It felt like that's the case.
Yeah, typically you pick the Uranus against the Quad. This time the Quad is picked after the Uranus. So there's already a lot of questions with this Quad. That's why I also share your sentiments from Mars. So we'll see. The BTR, the response typically to this is get another hero that has a knockup, or maybe agree with it. Generally, he's okay against this Quad, but most importantly, it's good versus the Peloric as well as the Harley. And you also don't give a big ultimate to the Valentina. You're gonna settle with the Eudora, also a hero that the Valentina does not love to copy. So overall, they are so anti-Valentina here for VTR. I wonder how Team Vamos will close out their draft. They're gonna be looking for their XP laner or their roamer. If they want to flex this Peloric up against Uranus, I think they're stuck with Esmeralda in this scenario.
Yeah, and it might have been a slow creeping realization for Vamos that it really might just have to be go next for them, but let's see. It doesn't look like they have any more room to pull out any surprises. They get the Lapu-Lapu, an offensive tool that is burst damage. Lots of burst coming in from Vamos, but they have a lineup that deals with burst incredibly well, and they still have the problem of can they annoy this Melissa enough. More than anything, I feel like this is up to the Lapu-Lapu, Peloric, and the Harley to actually make something work from not a lot of anger in their draft.
I'm sure that our co-casters, Gideon and Lafel, would have a lot more knowledge about this, but I feel like when you think Lapu-Lapu for Vamos, I think Sapat, right? I think that's the hero I associate him with. I'm not sure how masterful Siska is. And the reason why I am saying that is because of how important the role of the last pick Lapu-Lapu is. You mentioned how important the combination of the Peloric, Harley, and this Lapu-Lapu can mitigate the early game for Team Vamos, and with that kind of argument, it just strengthens the value of how good you should be as a Lapu-Lapu player in this case. So there's a lot of tasks here that's going to be given to Sisga, and let's see if Team Vamos can pull off a 2-0 up against BTR.
What can they do, and how will they do it with this last pick Lapu? Some major question right now for Vamos. He entered this game. Gonna be a slow start for both. When it comes to the emblems, nothing in particular stands out. Except you do get the double boost for Finn, so you're gonna be expecting this blue to be able to roam a lot. Also like Shogun as well, getting the agility for that extra movement speed boost.
No. That was weird, but the taunt was mastered from Nail. Go for the dive. Actually survived, so that for long. Arrow Force ready. TR, a very questionable movement. Over their trio mid, and because of that, they give away 2 kills to Team Vamos. 1 kill for the roll for the jungler, and a big lead in the early stages.
Yeah, I'm scratching my head. I feel like they still could not let go of their more primal animalistic instincts from game number 1, because that didn't need to happen this early on. They all ended up getting a kill. Other than Harley, Nile is not even going to be able to hit level 4 just yet. Maybe Frizo with the Beetle, but math-wise, I can't remember if the Beetle should be able to make him hit level 4. He didn't get the Golem, he didn't. He's going to be lacking in levels. Arrow. Oh wait, no, there it is. He'll be able to hit level 4. Although Vamos are holding into closer his purple buff, then the magic has popped up and now we'll be able to take down Moreno. Nile will not have a lot of help unless he's constantly the blue into Uranus to be able to do enough to provide space for him. Be able to rescue this in a 4v3 scenario. Moreno's close by, but it's going to be too risky for him to get close. Finn doing everything he can to hold on. Nile holding on by the bush. Vamos being very disciplined with it. They're not dealing any damage to the turtle whatsoever because they know that might help Nile's cause in getting it. Blockgun gets found out. Nile gets the kill. Here comes Siska with the damage. He gets the stun off and he fights Nile. It's the jungler of BDR by Vid, and we pose questions for the Lapu-Lapu, and Siska answers.
Siska, masterful with it. With the flicker as well committed. Team Vamos are not controlling this early game, this total dance. They're going to be very happy to trade more levels for Air 4, especially because they have already taken out Nael. And the BTR, there's really no way for them to get the turret. Unfortunately, Zaykeef had to pop Cool Zone Ultimate, so that is a big tool for Team Vamos that will not be available in this refresh of the turret fight. But then again, Air 4 is already level 6.
Good zone out here by the Blue and the Uranus. The BTR by hit, get the turtle. The answer is yes. Shogun goes down to Siska. That's a pullback from the Glue. Clarkon gets the ultimate of the Glue. Are they going to be able to make something out of it? Let's see. He gets a little bit closer, releasing the web. Nako goes in with the BMI as well. But it's just a set of numbers to BTR by hit back. Vamos has the lead in kills. Maybe a little bit more map control too. But BTR were the ones able to secure that previous turtle.
It's going to be the trade for Team Vamos. But also fair for BTR, they still managed to take the turtle despite them having less levels compared to Air 4. To be fair, Air 4, they decided to go for the Uranus as a very tactical target right up the guy. There's a coup on the back right there! Gets another kill onto Clarkon, back to back! And now Moreno is in trouble with the Deadly Magic. Can he survive? No. And they will get a trade. Team Vamos, a mid for a mid. And this will even make things very full of friction in the early stages of this game.
Especially now that Siska has a second kill under his belt. Some fast rotations coming out from this EXP laner for Vamos, who we weren't able to see all throughout MSC, but now we're seeing him. And let's see if he's going to be building towards a more aggressive route considering the early start that he had. That's going to be a cast onto Zaykeef, and it is clean. It takes a bit of time, but the veteran finally falls to the Glue and the Hirara. Got by bit, they're getting a little bit more on the board. They're going to be able to steal that away from Error. Error is able to get away without the risk of him losing his life.
Like, pushing in the middle. Just trying to poke Finn out of there. But then again, for Team Vamos, this is the tempo that they want to play in, so BTR are countering them with it. So I would say that this is a great reaction coming up from BTR by Vitality. To counter out the Harley, you have to be faster. And typically we see Hirara players to be a little bit more passive, but ML is just more aggressive right now.
Should be another fight breaking off. Already committed the ultimate to Zaykeef. Vamos. So half the raging slashes from the Lava ultimate. Zaykeef miraculously gets the last hit on the turtle. Vamos might be able to get a turnaround with this with shield, but they decide not to risk it as Nako took a lot of damage. That everything just went Vamos' way that time.
A little bit of luck, but a lot of coordination coming up from Team Vamos is what I would say. The initiation coming up from Zaykeef and Air 4 for being that fight Siska being so dependable as this Lapu-Lapu. Even defending the bottom lane, committing his ultimate, Darren will survive for a little bit more. Clarkon might be here. Oh, what a solo coming out from Shogun. They get a kill afterwards, but they have lost so much. It's a 2v1, 2-for-1 just to defend the turret in the bottom lane.
That is not the pace that Vamos wants to go. Just a few moments ago, it looked like their pace. It was them who was determining it. It was them setting the tempo for this game. It's BTR by Vip with some nice rotations, very decisive throughout, finding small wins in the side lanes, getting some ganks. Have now made Vamos dance to their tune again. Did they buy enough time for this squad? Let's see. Nako still deathless. Seems like he didn't have trouble farming. They're now going to try to go for the cross-map split trade, but it's going to be BTR by Vip winning that. Moreno is going to be paying for it with his life. With a quick little burst there. Like disrespect coming in from Moreno. But that opens up the map for the bottom lane. Nako and Zaykeef cannot do it against this Uranus.
Defense, but push up top is so important for BTR. Now it's going to be another turtle fight. Nael is level 10, and so is Air 404, but there is the Lightning Punch and the second item now for the Harley. Gonna be answered by the Warax now for Nael, so this is a pretty even fight between two junglers.
There's a Warax as well for Emma Zone, Melissa Nael gets spotted and blasted out! Vamos, they were the ones more decisive this time around, but here comes Emma, but Siska! Who has the stun? But the race slaps of the Emma forces the Melissa back. Forces to go away already, but the combo from Moreno. Instead of thinking about the back, Emma is able to survive Aaron 4-4. Got that turtle. BGR by Victor going to go in for the chase towards this direct. Ziki has to move with speed, and he'll be able to get out. The BGR by Victor despite some magic there for Vamos. Eventually, again, it's their turn to realize the reality of going up against a Melissa comp.
Team Vamos had the great initiation to take out in there when we talked about it. I just said that it would be free, but now Aaron 4-4 getting taken out. An amazing initiation, and of course, Brenda being ever so dependable. They want to go for the Eman kill right now, but Eman has already went out of there with the flicker to the side to kind of outplay Nato. Team Vamos, like you said, they are now experiencing what they did to PTR essentially. With this Emma and Melissa being so good in the team fights now. This is again not a perfect game for him. 3 deaths already, but time and time again he's doing a lot of good stuff for the team.
Siska thanks a lot. He wanted to do everything he could to protect the purple block of Vamos for their Harley. But BGR by Vitality walks away with it. It's a ticking time bomb again that Vamos has to work through. This Melissa, used by them earlier, now they're getting a taste of their own medicine. I have to point out, our item pickups here are a little bit wonky, so take it with a grain of salt. For a moment I thought Eman had a war axe, but he did not. We're just doing a little bit of housekeeping with our item pickups at this moment.
It was Niall who had the war axe. I think it's all mixed up, but yeah, at least what they show right now is accurate. So that's the magnetic wear who's split it up by this Ferrara. 5-man push here from Team Vamos in the middle. It's so interesting. I think they just wanna group up together, then split when the Lord is about to spawn. But that means that Zeke will be taken out already.
Oh, he got a flicker, he's able to get away. Confidence is going, he's not home with a blazing duet right after Emman. Can he finally take it down? He's been able to get away just in time. Nako's gonna kill their own now, but it's this Melissa that's still standing. With the weirdness and blue, even Vamos are looking at it thinking, oh, we don't need to deal with that. We can. We don't have the reach. We don't have the damage. And this Uranus, Glue, Melissa trio are bullying Vamos towards their side of the jungle.
To be fair, Emma just played it so well. Nato just overspeeding a little bit. They want to still fight this. They don't have the ult for the error 404, and without that, they just don't have enough to force Emma out of position. And even then, Emma has the flicker. And you're right. With 2 tanky dudes in front of the Melissa, there's nothing the Team Vamos can do. In fact, the Lord can be blitzed down by BTR.
Same play, utilized by both. Just so they're going to get a closer. And Niall gets spotted out. Deadly magic. Does he have the iframe? Yes, he does. He's going to be able to survive it. And now being killed by Vitality. They look like they're going to be able to punish Vamos. That's another blazing with actually by Nato. Can he actually survive this time? But the question is, can he actually get anyone? He gets no one. BTR by Vit are too chunky. They're too solid. Arrow 404 gets spotted out. And he's forced to go back.
This means that PTR can just go back to what they were doing. They can beat the Lord now. There's nothing that Team Vamos could do. It looks very promising for the concealed play coming out of Team Vamos to be able to eliminate Nail. But that, Nail survives the items of the Ferrara. They wanted to go in against Emman once again, but they failed. They might not have lost anyone in that exchange, but oh, they will! Oh, taking it out! With the stun, and now they push the turret. Now they can go for the push, now they can go for the dive. They want to go for Siska this time, and the hero bounce back! A double kill! Coming out from Moreno! The mask with the Eudora! They get 2 turrets and 2 kills, and they want to go for it!
Vamos got greedy. They thought they had the jump onto Emma and the jump onto Niall, but no, it was a quick stun from the Eudora and a combo to change it all around. How's that for a Melissa game? A taste of your own medicine, courtesy of Bigetron by Vitality, delivered on the Team Vamos. We're going to a game 3.
Oh, Moreno, so good with it. He's also the reason why we're able to get error 404 in the middle part of the map. Yeah, quick stun from the Eudora allowed them to take out the jungler so easily. Then they went in for the push. And then for the last part, up against Nako, again another initiation coming from the Eudora. But let's not forget the star of the show, Emmons Melissa, was way too good. There was even a time where we saw that Nako tried to go for the blazing duet play, and Nako just overstepped just a pixel too far. He gets pushed back by the go away. That meant that there's a little bit of a stutter step and a mini stun. If you think about it, that was enough for BTR to eventually take out the pod. Small things like that matters in this very close fight that we've seen between two teams, and teams like Melissa is at the center of it all.
Melissa, who would have thought at some point will something break for whoever
It's like an impossible task for them afterwards. Still, Revolver gets the retribution, but then you're already feeling the strength of both the Eudora as well as the Melissa just 8 minutes into this game. And then was just a beast. Look at this, that go away, and another one of that Nako just get bounced back and forth. It wasn't enough for him to be taken out by the members of BTR.
a little bit too. Gotta agree with you, Mom. Might have pressed his foot on the gas pedal a little bit too early there. I think in these scenarios, you really need the Quad and the Lapu-Lapu, both side learners on the Melissa, because it's your only chance of actually being able to take it outside of error 404, finding your crazy angle, and then you get a follow-up. But in the two big fights where you saw Nako go with the Blazing Duet and Cisco go in with the Raging Slashes of this ultimate, they weren't completely in sync with jumping on the Melissa.
0, 0, and 8 for Eman. Never going to be able to explain how good his performance is if you just look at the KDA. This game was dictated by the Melissa.